Meanwhile, early child education is increasingly gaining recognition. In 1985, Nigeria had about 4,200 early childhood institutions, and by 1992, the number increased to about 8,300. However, some challenges have been observed as mitigating against the early childhood education sector. Some experts in the field of early education in Ondo City, Ondo Town, have spoken about these challenges and preferred solutions on how they can be addressed. Our correspondent Victoria Mbachu has more on this report.
Early childhood education is a starting point for a child's development and is the key foundation of the educational system in Nigeria. Early childhood education is about owning and molding the holistic child. It is a term used to explain any type of educational program that serves children in their preschool years in Nigeria. Early childhood education is gradually gaining recognition. In 1985, Nigeria had about 4,200 early childhood education institutions, but by 1999, the number had increased to about 8,300. Presently, early childhood educational institutions in Nigeria is located in various places and buildings.
Okay. Early childhood education in Nigeria has, metamorphosed from a state of neglect to a state whereby it's being given recognition. For instance, in public schools now, you have a class that is preceding primary one class, which the government has called ECD class. So because of the attention that the early childhood education is receiving in Nigeria today. And there are a lot of development partners like WHO, UNICEF, who are doing a lot of things to contribute into this field of early childhood education because of the importance of the early years in the life of children. Whatever happens to a child between birth and 8 years has a lot to do for the rest of the life of the child. And that is why early childhood education is receiving a good attention in Nigeria today.
Although according to the authors, it's education given to a child from 3 years, some say from 3 years to 5 years. Some say from the womb, from birth to 8 years. But the most important thing is looking at the holistic development of the child. And if you look at the society in which we are now, we could see that we parents have failed. We are not giving the children the right training that we're supposed to give them.
Early childhood education, therefore, will be a form of education that nourishes the younger ones. And by definition, I think early childhood education is the education given to the young ones from the age of 0 to 8. In some tests, some scholars will say it's a form of education that is given to the younger ones. By the younger ones, I mean the baby from 0, that is from birth, to age 5.
It is important for early childhood educators to teach young children skills that can develop their mindset, especially children in Nigeria. Early childhood education provides children with the opportunity to apply what they have learned at home in an applied setting, mixing with other individuals outside of their homes. It facilitates improved social skills, eagerness to learn, and boosts self-confidence.
Well, after giving birth, the home is the first place of the child. Every training that the child needs to receive starts from the home. How to greet, how to clean, how to do everything. It's from the home. When you don't give it, by the time they have grown up, you now want to be teaching them what they found difficult. So the home is the first place where they need to receive all these trainings. The foundation, the home is the foundation layer. So you lay the foundation. Is it the character building? Is it hard work? You train it from the childhood. So when they are now growing, you now build up on what you have trained them to be.
Children are from different backgrounds. It will be difficult for instructors who teach them to actually grasp the kind of thing that parents or instructions that parents give their children at home. For teachers to be able to grasp it, it means they must have been adequately trained. They must be trained and retrained teachers to be able to know how to inculcate new values. The school environment is a formal environment where new values are inculcated in the life of the younger ones, the children. So if teachers fail to understand the ways of life of parents in their different backgrounds, it will be difficult for teachers in the first instance to actually grasp the methodology which they could use to bring up the younger ones. That's the first instance.
Happens has so many things to do with the child. So the kind of care, the kind of cognitive stimulation, the kind of education that the child receives between this period has a lot to do with who the child will become from that 8 years and beyond. So, and that is why that's why there is a saying in the field of early childhood education, we say learning begins at birth.
However, in Nigeria, some challenges have been observed as mitigating against the early childhood education sector. Some of these challenges include inadequate trained teachers and caregivers, high fees, overcrowded classes, and low motivation for teachers and caregivers.
Really, the government is making a lot of efforts, but they still need to do more. The government needs to do more because a lot has to do with what happens to the nation when we consider the early years of the child. For instance, in the public school where the government has now introduced a class, ECD class, those classes are not well taken care of. Those classes are not well equipped. Those classes are not well organized to be able to assist the child effectively.
And even with the parents, I can say the parent lack of time is what is affecting. So if we can reorientate the parents again and see the home, the children as their first priority, then they will create more time to train them. Then by the time the circle is being recycling, we discover that gradually the society will be changing again.
Government must make available materials or conducive environments where students or where children could be trained rightly. What do I mean? Good building, instructional materials must be put in place. Then there's nothing bad if government could supply food to children. Some of these children, they don't eat from home. So if government can give them food, it could be better. Then government could also organize some people, trained people, instructors, who could always engage these students or these children in schools in form of boarding.
To address these challenges facing early childhood education sector, some measures should be established. Some of these measures include adequate funding, employment of professional teachers, provision of infrastructural facilities, provision of instructional materials, provision of national curriculum, ensuring effective supervision, and fighting all forms of corruption in the Ministry of Education. Victoria Mbachu, reporting for KAFTAN TV.